4750.
Family owned and operated. That's something you don't hear too often anymore. Highway Campers of Plainfield is now 3 generations in and going strong. If you're looking to upgrade or get your first RV, contact the family that knows RVs, Highway Campers. They'll walk you through the process of finding the right RV for you and can even finance it for you. Visit www.highwaycampers.com and find your home on wheels. After all, home is where you park it. Highway Campers is a proud supporter of Griswold Youth Football.
Hi, my name is Dr. Katina Simmons. I'm the optometrist and the new owner of Griswold Eye Care, formerly the office of Dr. Joel Zuckerbaum. I would like to welcome you and your family to make an appointment today for an eye exam. Even though the name has changed, we are still providing the same family-friendly eye care as Dr. Z. We are located at 8 North Main Street in Jewett City. You can also find Griswold Eye Care on Facebook and send us a message. Don't forget that eye exams correlate to your whole body health too. It's not just new glasses and contacts. So come see me, Dr. Katina Simmons, at the all-new Griswold Eye Care, formerly Dr. Zuckerbrand. Hope to see you soon.
Your community radio, live from Main Street.
Mike Minarski and Paul Lash in the morning and 80s all day and night.
SNSN.
Like they always say things that aren't stupid usually. And when they are stupid, it's funny.
So, here we are. Friday.
Thank God it's Friday.
It's Mike and Retiree Row. Here we are.
Oh, he's gonna leave
Chris and Paul.
If you put it together, you have Chris Paul, and that's a basketball player.
Is it? Oh, yeah, that's right.
As opposed to RuPaul, who falls more on Paul's side.
Yeah.
Or it could be Crispy Paul.
No, RuPaul would be the guy that's dressed like a woman.
Yeah, like I said,
That'd be more
in Paul's wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Mm.
You got weather. You got one job, Paul.
Okay, I was going to give you the weather. Right now, guess what the temperature is downtown?
I don't know.
52 degrees.
Holy!
And
It's
not
a
raining.
scorcher.
It's
And it's not raining. It's a scorch.
Yeah.
There's a lot of scorches around lately.
Of course, there's areas,
Too soon?
Too soon.
of course, there was areas of dense fog early this morning. However, it's all gone by now. Guess what the temperature will be today?
70.
72. That's what
Nice.
they're saying. That's pretty good.
Sweet.
And for tonight, cloudy skies, slight chance of rain, lows around 44. Saturday, well, it's going to be rain early, then remaining cloudy with thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. Highs will be somewhere around 57 degrees. But Saturday night, thunderstorms in the evening, turns to partly cloudy overnight.
You just did the record reverse sound effect.
Yeah.
And the temperatures will be somewhere around 48. For Sunday, mix of clouds and sun early, then becoming cloudy. Highs will be somewhere around 59 degrees. And of course, for Monday, back to work, back to school. Sunny, highs will be somewhere around 58 degrees. And
Nice.
that's your weather from SNSN on this Friday, 03/18/2022.
Okay.
Nice. It's starting to feel a little bit more like spring.
Yeah,
Yeah, at least we're getting more days, right? That are warmer.
Yeah.
and longer.
And
Mhm.
longer. I still have not really noticed the days longer. I don't know why.
It,
I'm not paying
gains
attention to
about
weather.
1 to 2 minutes a day.
Huh?
It gains about 1 or 2 minutes a day.
I'm starting that cycle where I go to bed before it gets dark now. It's like 7 o'clock and it's still light out. I'm like,
Plus, you guess spring is next week.
Yep.
21st. So, yeah. So there you go.
It's going to be here.
And it's going to stay like
About time,
this.
too.
It's going to stay like this starting at 23.
Let's hope.
Mm.
Let's hope. All right. So I know what's on a lot of people's mind. What's going on down at the Truckee's gas station? No, we don't know. We don't know. Not anymore. That's already been put out there. Where there was a 40-year-old gentleman. His identity was released as Sabir Hussein of North Stonington. Now, I did ask Connecticut State Police if he was an employee. They said they could not confirm. So, but I think we can assume that a gentleman named, from North Stonington is probably not going to just be hanging out, at a Chucky's in Jewett City.
Do we know if the gentleman in the bathroom and the owner knew each other?
Well, I'm assuming the guy worked there.
Well-
So, I mean, but I don't know. I don't remember which one the guy is,
Mhm.
but if it's the one I'm thinking of, it's sad because he's a really nice guy.
Yeah. You're talking the owner.
No.
Oh,
I'm
you're talking
about the guy that works
okay.
there. And I mean, it's tragedy either way. But
Mhm.
this guy was, I mean, he was very talkative. He was just nice. He was a nice person.
Yeah.
So
No, it's too bad.
it is. It's really too bad. So,
Oh.
but there's a lot of, of course, there's a lot of speculation on a lot of stuff,
Mhm.
that you see, in the news or whatever. And just remember, it is speculation.
Right.
And you get people, don't get sucked into local social media boards that are saying, well, this happened, well, I heard this happened. Well,
Yeah.
you heard nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, just let it go. Because let's put it this way, let's say that somebody says something disparaging about any person,
Mhm.
that's on social media, then a family member sees that.
Right.
What kind of
Yeah.
damage is that going to do to somebody?
Oh, yeah.
So
Would you want it to happen to your family?
no, of
golden
course not.
golden rule.
Right.
And as far as speculation goes, I would just re-emphasize: check your resources, check your sources, make sure
Yeah.
that whoever you're getting that information from knows for sure.
Right. And you got to be careful too. Like stuff like, for example, the stuff that I put out there, I got from other people,
Right.
And stuff. But I knew, and anyway.
But you've confirmed your sources.
Yeah.
You know that.
So, but I didn't put anything out there that would hurt an investigation either.
Mhm.
Because I don't think so. So, because that's one thing that I've said before, I don't like to put anything out to the public that, even though it might be released, I mean, they're going to be news organizations are going to put out just because they want to put it out and they're only looking for clicks and they're, whatever.
Right.
I don't want to put anything out that's going to, damage any kind of investigation. And 9 times out of 10, they don't even release anything,
Exactly.
so. So, so nothing, no movement at all.
We don't know.
We do not know. All we know is it's still taped off.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be for a while.
Yep.
I'd be surprised if it ever opens again.
Really?
Yeah.
It will, but we'll be old and gray. Oh, too late, Paul.
Oh, that's surprising.
I'd be surprised if it ever opened again
Really?
under the same ownership. Put it that way.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So
Well, there's more than one Chucky's. This is the one over in Lisbon, Chucky's too?
yeah, but
Yep.
they're separate owners.
Oh, they're separate owners.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's franchises, isn't it?
Well, Chucky's was owned by some petroleum company years ago, and they had a crap ton of stores,
Mm-hmm.
and then they sold them off individually.
Right.
Some of them had little donut franchises in them called Dixie Donuts, which they owned,
Mm-hmm.
and they got the donuts from where'd they get them? The place in Norwich.
Dixie Donuts.
Oh, it was Dixie Donuts. Yeah.
Well, Dixie Donuts used to be on Basel Avenue, right?
No, they're in Yantic.
But there was a donut shop on Basel Avenue, right across from the.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Boswell?
I'm running Boswell in my head, and I can't think of anything.
think of-
Basel Avenue is where.
Yeah, I know where Boswell. I lived on Boswell Avenue. I'm just running it in my
Down-
head.
If you go down from the cemetery, you know where Adams Rentals used to be, the big appliance store?
Yes.
Mhm.
It was the next building down.
You mean by the Wonder Bar?
No, right between it. There's a building there right now that's empty.
Oh, I don't know.
That was a donut shop.
Oh, Laura said Tim Hortons.
Is that what it was?
It may be.
Yeah, it was a donut shop there.
That's a Canadian franchise.
Yeah.
Tim Hortons. And they have, I know there's one in Westerly still, but there's very few, in the United States now.
They've got good donuts, eh?
Hey, take off, hoser.
Yeah. Oh.
So let's see. Oh, all right. Here's something. David Polina, who works for Special Olympics. Let's put this up here.
Sup, David?
Says Wednesday, March 30th, all Jersey Mike's locations will be donating 100% of their sales to Special Olympics Connecticut.
Wow.
So I think that is
Where's the closest Jersey Mike's around here?
Norwich, I think.
Is there one in Norwich?
What's that?
Jersey Mike's?
there's one at one of the casinos,
Okay.
and I do think there's one in Norwich as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
there's
thought
one in
so.
Mohegan Sun.
Yeah.
And Mohegan Sun has a whole restaurant entity, where they have a whole bunch of different franchises that they own.
Gotcha.
So, but I know they put them in different places as well.
Okay.
100% of their sales or 100% of their profit.
It's
It's two different numbers.
I understand. It says 100% of their sales.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool. Good.
So that's
So they're going to eat all the overhead on that.
yeah,
Wow.
That's good.
that's a great donation.
Sure.
And David said yes, it's Mohegan Sun, but there's one on West Side Norwich too, I think.
Okay.
If only we had some retail space available in town here that we could put a Jersey Mike's.
Yeah. Or any kind of Mike.
See that segue?
Oh yeah,
You like that segue?
Hey, anybody named Mike, would be if they were looking for some sort of retail space
Yeah, where he could put a coffee shop or something.
and a radio station.
Wow, that's a new combination.
That'd be really
Ask it-
kind of cool.
Asking for a friend.
Asking for a friend.
That's generally how it works.
Put it this way: how about affordable space?
Yeah,
That was your thing. That was your
That's the
thing.
key word right there.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, it's actually something we need to find out. We're asking for a friend. We're looking
asking for a friend.
We're
Yep.
looking
That's right.
for affordable space in Jewett City or fairly close to Jewett.
How many square feet would this affordable friend need?
I think that would depend on the bill. I think that would, from what I understand,
From what you understand,
it would depend on the actual location.
Yeah.
and location is key.
Location.
So we're looking, folks. We're asking for a friend. We need a space.
But if you think about it, there's nothing in Jewett City that's even available.
No,
And if it is, it's not really affordable.
and it's not location friendly.
It is not location friendly.
Yeah. So anybody knows?
So, like for example, Subway, the old Subway,
Mm-hmm.
$1,500
A
for
month.
that space.
A month.
For that space.
Now, is that just the rent, and then you have to pay utilities
yeah.
on top?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're talking $2,000 a month.
Yeah. That's a really a restaurant too. So
Mm-hmm.
it's really.
Shayna says, "What about the movie theater?" Well, I'm going to tell you the same thing we've been saying for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years.
It ain't going nowhere.
It ain't going nowhere. The guy's not doing anything with it. He doesn't even want the town going in there. He doesn't
Right.
want, because there was a whole bunch of different things that they wanted to do with that,
Mm-hmm.
and nothing. So
Nothing's gonna happen in that space until he passes, and then when his family takes it.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. But Laura says you should ask the people on Griswold now. They know everything. Oh crap.
Just out of curiosity, where the old movie rental place was,
They won't subdivide it.
they won't subdivide.
No.
Yeah.
They're hanging on to it for what, 20 years now?
Yeah.
20 years, and they just don't want to rent it or subdivide it.
Here's another thing too. We talk about a lot of years of places being empty.
Mm-hmm.
The Slater Mill Mall, that could be
Mm-hmm.
a really nice place to go.
Nice destination place.
It could be, but they don't do anything with it.
Right. There's a lot of spaces in there I know of that don't have bathrooms in them, don't have sinks in them.
There most of the and there's a ton of places available,
Mm-hmm.
but none of them has plumbing.
Right.
So you actually have to use a community bathroom with customers and other business owners.
Well, I think part of it also is the owners aren't willing to do any kind of upgrades to the spaces to make them more accessible,
Yeah.
presentable, somethingable.
I mean, it could be. It really could be, but I just don't think that they're interested
Right.
in doing that. So, I don't. They need an anchor.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
What a great place for a brewery.
A brewery, a restaurant.
Oh,
I know they had a restaurant in there before, but
20 years ago.
can't put a brewery in town.
Why?
Zoning.
But that can get changed.
Well, I understand what you're saying, and they're starting to look at it, but until it gets changed, it can't be a brewery. They are looking at it, though. I will tell you that.
yeah, because what we need is one
They'll
more
change
place to
that.
sell alcohol.
It'll take a while, but yeah, you can change it.
Yeah. Well, it could be Fred's Brewery and Pot Shop.
Yeah, there you go. And bakery.
Huh?
And bakery. So you get drunk, you get stoned, and then you have your snacks.
Janice says we don't need any more drunkards in town, but you know what? I think people that go to craft breweries are not the people that are
No,
looking to get a quick drunk.
I don't think
No,
they're problem
you know?
drinkers. I think they're
No.
more social drinkers. They're there for the experience.
Exactly.
It's just like the wineries they have around. That's people
Mhm.
don't go there to get drunk. They just
No,
go
they're
there
for the
to
atmosphere and stuff like that.
taste the different wines.
Give me another bottle
Right.
of Zinfandel.
Yeah. Well, the same-
Bakery. She says bakery. Everybody wants a bakery. Not going to happen.
No.
It's not gonna happen.
Not going to happen.
Because everybody is going to compare whatever bakery comes into to the
Airmonies.
Yeah.
But here's the other thing, too. Look at Poppy and Rye in Norwich, Taffel, right?
Ain't there.
And not anymore.
Nope.
It's La Stella's.
Right.
They bought it. I hope they do really well. But you think about it, Poppy and Rye, for whatever reason, they had really good stuff. And look at the population in Norwich, Taffel, in that area.
Mm-hmm.
Done.
Yeah, but
You know,
they're
Again,
still
it's
selling-
location.
They're still selling baked goods, though.
They are.
I think they wanted to retire.
I was just in there this
Yeah.
week. Now,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken, they are somehow related to the Stotts place.
I don't think so.
Well, you walk in and there's a huge sign mounted to the cabinet that says Stotts. And I ordered a sandwich that was the Stotts Classic.
Oh,
Maybe.
maybe.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I don't know. I really don't know.
So I think there is some kind of relationship there.
No. Okay.
Hmm.
No. So,
But yeah, there's no place in town here that's available for rent that's going to be reasonable.
What's that?
I said there's no space in town here that's reasonable to rent right now.
No, not that I could find. I mean, Paul and I actually took a ride around
Mm-hmm.
to see what we could find, and there's
nothing.
Right.
nothing. There's that gas station all the way down.
Right.
That used to be what, Safeway?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're or Best Way, whatever.
Yeah.
Which are done.
Yeah.
The only other place that I know of is right where Subway used to be,
Yeah.
Yep.
and then the other Spanish restaurant that was there for a hot minute.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you just drive down Main Street, which is predominantly the place you want to be, you drive down Main Street, there's not a lot of spaces. Like we've already talked about the movie theater. There's a little strip mall over where Healthy Computer is that has one space open, but there's no floor in it.
Yeah, right on. Yeah,
There's
there's a big gaping hole.
There's the old Can Redemption place, which just doesn't want to be rented out.
Mm-hmm.
There's just no place to go.
Now here's the thing. This person that we all know, do they go to a different town?
Well, that's already happened a couple times. Plainfield has seen a number of the small businesses that were in our town move to their town and become successful.
Lisa Coe just said time to move to Plainfield.
See?
Yeah.
I'd love to know what the first selectman in town's opinion is on small rental spaces.
Oh, that's private industry. There's really not a whole lot she can do about that.
I
Or
understand.
any
No,
selectman,
I
so.
understand that, but if part of her job is to bring new business into town, there's got to be
Yeah.
some kind of conversations going on with people that have space.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I know that the borough does, and has programs available. But I don't know what the town does.
Right.
Honestly, I don't think they have any kind of special programs available for any businesses in town, but I could be wrong, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I just honestly do not know, but I've never heard of anything that the town had. Old Route 12 Taco. It's in Plainfield.
Yeah. But it's not far out of town.
No. And I'd consider that, to be honest with you. But
again, it's location.
Yeah.
Who's going to drive out of town to have a cup of coffee?
Coming into town.
See, here's the other thing, and we talk about this guy that wants to do this. I thought about, suggestion, just do it in your basement. Well, it's hard. One thing that has been discussed as well is you can't bring a guest or a CEO of a company and say, yeah, come on through the carport or this person's carport and, into the side door.
Yeah.
And into their basement.
Yeah.
You lose a lot of credibility that way.
Impressions are everything.
And you don't gain credibility that way.
Right. First impressions, walking through your carport to get to your office.
Yeah, this poor guy. He's up shit's creek. Shayna says, I guess the Best Way has reopened. Is that true?
Okay.
It has? I don't know. We were by there yesterday.
Yeah,
the day before. It was empty. It was nothing.
Daryl says, I know a space on Mathewson Street, which is about $900 a month, which we talked about.
Yeah, we talked about
morning.
the old Razor's place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
well, even
I would be nervous going down there.
Oh, okay.
This person I know would be nervous.
And again, I go back to location. There's not real parking per se in that area. I mean, you can park on the side of the street, but for something like a coffee shop or something like that, I don't think it's the right location. You know what that would be a great place for? Custom motorcycle shop. They've got all those garages. They've got the retail space out front. They've got office space.
All right. So we just got a comment. I wish we had a bakery in town. So I'm going to speak to that. And I want you guys to also speak to it too. So I've been in business here for about 7 years, and I've been lived in this town basically my entire existence. There was one bakery, Aramoni's Bakery. We kind of touched on it briefly a few minutes ago.
And there will always be only
and
one
it
bakery.
will always be. The problem is that everybody wants a bakery.
Right.
Giuliano's went in there. Nobody supported it.
Yep.
And he left after 1 year. End of story. He does wonderful down in Niantic. This was a second location.
Here's what I'll say. I think there will be a new bakery that comes into town, but it won't be coming into town until after all the people that remember Aramoni's are gone.
Yeah. It will not. It just won't. Business in this town is hard to. It's hard to get support.
I honestly, you kind of wonder actually how many people are actually learning now to become bakers. Think about it. That's an old time trade. There's a lot of older folks or older people did for years. I mean, there were bakeries everywhere back, 10 or 15 years ago. Now there's not because it's a trade. Everybody just goes to the store and you can go to Big Y, go to Stop and Shop or anywhere. Give me this cook. Even Walmart's got bakers.
I get it, but let's go back to nobody wants to bake. Nobody wants to be a plumber. Nobody wants to be an electrician. Nobody wants to be a tradesman. Period. Get that. The point is that people don't support it. They just don't. There's not a lot of support. And this is why a lot of the Jewett City and Griswold economy is the way that it is. It's just what is supported here?
Right.
Where do you see that's really, really busy?
Walmart. The big box retailers.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not pointing blame. I'm just saying this is the way that it is. Yeah. When you had a bakery here and, after everybody said, I want a bakery, nobody supported the bakery that they wanted.
Yep.
And gone.
because of the prices. Everybody was upset with the cost.
Okay, fine.
Because of the
Get
impression.
over it. You know why? Because Aeromody's kept their same prices for 30 years.
Yep.
40 years, pretty much. Dooley didn't want to, from what I understood, he didn't want to keep raising prices or whatever to do it. But you got another business coming in. You think they're going to take hits because somebody doesn't want to pay more than 60 cents for a freaking donut?
Who was their customer base?
Church crowd.
All right.
Yeah.
And how these were people that were middle-aged to elderly,
Yep.
right?
Mhm.
And they used to go there all the time to have their donut, coffee,
Yep.
whatever, and have discussions and have a
Yeah.
meeting, right?
Any day you went in there was a meeting of the old guys group.
Exactly. What happened? The other guy came in. These people are old. They don't like raising prices. And I think that's with the support, because a lot of young people just don't sit. in
Well,
a
they don't
bakery.
like change.
Yeah, so I think that's what was their downfall.
So America says, I thought one was going in after Aeromody's, but it never happened. It did happen. They were here for a year and split because nobody supported it.
Well, wasn't there another one that was potentially going to go in there,
Yes,
but
there
there
was.
was all kinds of zoning regulations that
Yep.
Well, there was more than that. There
Yeah.
was a ton of stuff.
there was a lot of
You know.
issues involved.
Yeah, and honestly, this guy that was going in there had his own issues,
Yeah.
as far as funding is concerned. And he blamed he had everybody to blame the town. The town had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
They honestly didn't.
Oh, well.
Laura says downtown Putnam is thriving because the businesses there support each other.
Amen.
Do you think businesses support each other here?
I don't know.
Absolutely not.
I couldn't answer that question. I don't know how.
Do you think businesses in Jewett City and Griswold support each other, or they support only themselves?
Well, I think part of it, though, is what is there to support? Are people going to bring their computers to Darryl? Yeah, probably. But are people going to go to Ace Hardware or Anthony's Hardware to get nails and screws and stuff? No, they're going to go to Home Depot. They're going to go to Lowe's.
Why?
Because they are under the impression, whether it's true or not, that they're going to get stuff cheaper there.
Okay.
Think about the businesses we have in town. How much support can you really offer? There's really no restaurants, no afternoon restaurants.
I support. I mean, personally, because I feel that I should, and
and there are people that are going to support.
doesn't make me any better than anybody. But like, I'll go to Dean's Corner because he supports me. Charlene's Diner because they support me. I will bank at Eastern Connecticut Savings Bank because they support us. Jewett City Savings Bank.
Right.
At one point. No. That's bad. That's not true. They always do. But these are places, Griswold Dental.
Right.
I can go on and on and on. Kevin Trahan, Burns Agency. Burns Agency is huge.
Mm-hmm. Is Burns in town here?
No.
Okay.
But they support.
But I'm saying the businesses that are brick and mortar in town,
Mm-hmm.
how many of those businesses are supportable?
You can support any business, depending on what, you feel. Just because somebody's not supporting me or here personally doesn't mean that they don't support their community. Does not mean that at all.
agree with
and
that.
I know that. So
I agree with that. I just think that the businesses, the makeup of this town isn't sustainable. It's not a very supportable location. We have no destination stores.
think about it. You're spot on. What is there in Jewett City that you need to come here for?
That's what I'm saying. If people aren't going to come here, what makes people think that the people that are here are going to support even more? Okay, let's take a bakery, for example. If a bakery came into town, would it be a destination place? No. Well, just play the game here for a second. If a bakery came in, the 99% of the support for that bakery would come from this town. There wouldn't be that traffic into town just to go to the bakery. You know, if we had a big box in town, let's say someplace like Fiddleheads.
I disagree.
Okay, but let's say someplace like Fiddleheads. Fiddleheads is a store that people will travel to do their shopping. While they are in town, they might go into the bakery, they might go into the laundromat or whatever. They might utilize those other spaces. But without a destination store in town, there's not a lot of traffic that's going to be willing to travel here to get whatever we have to offer.
Right.
So the support has to come from people in town.
Yeah, I don't agree with 99%. I don't think 99% are the ones that are going to support. You know,
Okay.
I think you're going to get it from other places too. And here's the thing: if you have a bakery and they are doing something different than somebody else, word gets out.
Mm.
For example, people with breakfast.
Right.
People with breakfast, they'll go all over the place. They'll go to Plainfield. They'll go to the Brooklyn, to the golf club. They'll go to Norwich. Breakfast is huge.
Okay.
You know, so people will go to these places.
Well, bakery might have been a bad example then. Let's say a comic book store.
Again, I don't agree.
I think there will be a select few that will travel to town. But I don't think people from New London and people from Waterford are going to travel to town to buy comic books.
Daryl says, I'll split the cost of Dick's Sporting Goods with you and we could play hide and go seek.
Sweet.
Yeah, that's
So that's kinda cool.
That's big. That could be a TV station.
There you go.
Let's see here. I think, and I here's a song that I've been singing for really a long time, and it goes on deaf ears, and it's, to me, it's bothersome, but you really can't change things or, you know, people what they do. But I've said it for a long time: support local before there's nothing local to support.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I don't think that support is there.
No, you're right. I agree with you there.
Yeah.
There is not enough support. You know, I mean, it's
Well,
just not.
If you cannot find a place in town and you have to go out of town, the town of Griswold in the borough of
You mean our
Jersey-
friend?
Yeah, the friend. The town is going to lose because if this person moves to another town, they're probably going to cover sports from that town and not necessarily sports from this town. So the town is going to lose out on all of that. All the local news, you're going to lose out on that.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So there's not going to be a localized place where people are going to be able to find out exactly what's happening. You're not going to hear a selectman. You're not going to hear board of ed or anything going on with
Board of Finance.
board of finance or anything going on with election. It ain't going to happen. And it's going to be a big loss to the town of Griswold and the borough of Jewett City if this person has to move out of town. And the other town, wherever that person goes, is going to benefit.
You know, another big wasted space, Wirewind.
Yeah.
So many opportunities down there.
Somebody bought it.
Again.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Somebody bought it.
it doesn't mean anything if they buy it. It means if they develop it. I mean, the businesses that had previously considered going in there would have brought jobs into town.
Yeah.
It would have brought people in that during lunch, they would have gone out to the local restaurants and taken advantage of it. You know, but without having somebody there, you know, buying it doesn't mean anything. You have to have people that are working in it.
So I want to speak to your point, what you just said. So the person you were talking about just texted me and is extremely thrilled and heartfelt that you said that about him. So just so you know.
I'm getting teary-eyed.
And I totally forgot what I was going to say. Oh. So at the beginning of the pandemic, what we tried to do here is actually create a subscription service just because we needed the support if we were going to continue.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, you know, did say, okay, all right, at $4 a month. It wasn't anything that was going to hurt anybody,
Right.
you know, $4 a month. I almost got ran out of town on a rail.
Mm-hmm. Because you asked for help.
Yeah. I'm saying, okay, look, and I even said, well, why should I work for free? Norwich Bolton, you got to pay for that. You got to pay for the New London Day. You got that.
Well, where did most of the naysayers come from? Griswold now.
Yeah, news is free. That's what I kept. News is free. News, and I was like, no, it's not.
Not since Nixon.
Court. And I appreciate, this person appreciates a court. Paul is right. The move would be a tremendous loss to Griswold. I will let him know.
Yeah.
Daryl, I mean, I personally agree, and then I don't agree. But if you're a local business and you rely on your immediate area to support you, you need to think bigger. Your local area is a strong base, but you can't rely on that just to keep you afloat.
I'll say your local area can be a strong.
It can, however, I know myself here, I do not rely on just people in Jewett City, or not people, but businesses in Jewett City and Griswold, to keep us afloat. There are businesses that are not here.
Right.
And we cover their town's sports.
Mm-hmm.
There's no, I'm not going to go there.
On and on and on.
Okay. So somebody just said, what if said person moves? We lose SNSN radio? If that was the person, yeah.
There's the potential for that.
Yes, there is.
And you know what? And it's not because, honestly, all right, yeah, it is me. We know this shit now. And we just,
Yep.
It doesn't mean that I don't love Jewett City. It doesn't mean that I don't love the people here. I do. But nobody wants to support it. And if there's no support and you dare ask for a subscription service and want to get run out of town, well, okay.
Yep.
You're going to run me out of town. That's fine. I'll pick up and go somewhere else.
Well,
I'm going to survive.
But it may not be.
Well,
They may not be here.
May not be here.
I want to be here.
They can. I'm sorry.
No.
They can reach out to the Day. They can reach out to the Bulletin. They can reach out to Channel 3. But what is the likelihood that they will come here and cover the news and sports?
No.
Do you know how many people asked me what was going on down at Chucky's?
Mm-hmm. Asked you.
Yeah, asked me.
Because you're the news guy.
Over 100 people. My son was like, what? And he was right there.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, are you famous or something? I said, no. I'm just
You're
part
the
of
news
the
guy.
community, and that's it.
Those same people that are going, well, gee, we should ask Mike because he's the news guy, are the people that are saying, I don't want to support him.
It happens all the time. And I'm glad to help.
Mm-hmm.
I really am. Because I'm flattered that someone feels that I'm the person that they can get answers from. And if I don't know the answer, I'll say I just don't know.
Yep.
But to think that they think that I know or whatever, it's very flattering.
Mm-hmm.
So no, Daryl, I'm not. He goes, you're famous in Griswold. And I said, all right, big fish in a little pond, but I'm just part of the community like everybody else.
Yeah. But
I'm not.
But again,
not any better, not any worse. Just
but-
this is it.
I mean, you are a business, and unfortunately,
That's the part.
I mean,
that
you-
yeah.
you don't do this for the hell of it. You do it because you're a business person.
Not nonprofit.
And if there's no support and there's no place to go, what are you going to do?
I will tell you this: during the pandemic, we had the people that have been supporting us for years, which Jewett City Savings Bank, Eastern Connecticut Savings Bank, Burns, the Burns Agency, Kevin Trahan, Advanced Automotive, in Griswold, Griswold Dental. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. The people that support us, and they have been there.
Mm-hmm.
But then there are ones that don't, and they have their reasons. Maybe that's fine, and I'm not going to poo-poo anybody for it.
Yeah.
But we got a lot of support from the Little League. We supported them right back. We went to let's see, youth football. We did all their games. They were so kind to us. They even made sure we got a plaque, the championship plaque, as well, of the team, that won the Super Bowl and everything.
Well, like I said, you're really town oriented. You do a lot of town good stuff. Let's face it. Right now, it's on the line. Let's get to reality here. Either you find a spot around here, and since we already know, or you're gone. It's going to come down to that.
Kevin, I can't click that link. Kevin Cunningham, first selectman in Plainfield, just sent me a link.
Probably retail space available.
But text it to me, Kev. I mean, there's no doubt. I'm from here, and and America, that's very kind, get a fundraiser going or something.
Yeah, but where are you going to go?
No.
That's not.
Huh?
You need a space.
Yeah. And it's very, very kind, but I don't want a fundraiser.
You want a space.
Right. And I just, everybody wants to feel valued, and, just need that support, to feel that value, that you're valued in the community.
The last thing
sometimes the pat on the back is cool.
Yeah. It's only if you
kick out of town.
An ideal spot would be where used to collect the cans down there. So if anybody knows that individual who owns that.
Yeah. No, I've talked, but
I mean,
you're just sitting on it. He doesn't want to rent it, I guess.
So folks, if you know that person, maybe you can put a little pressure on them to maybe help to get the place rented so that you could get down there, or at least have a spot, at least an interim.
Cunningham just put it because it was the Gloria Gaynor. I will survive.
All right, so it wasn't retail space.
No.
The last thing I'm going to say about this is 6 months down the road.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be no surprise to anyone. If there's changes that happen, it shouldn't be no surprise to anyone because we're putting it out there now. So 6 months down the road, when they go to tune in and all they get is static,
they're not going to get static.
No, it's not that.
They're not going to get static. They're going to get some news from another community.
Right, exactly. That's what I mean.
It's not going to be no more Griswold. It's going to be another community wherever that is. It's simple as that.
I don't want that to happen.
Of course you don't want that to happen, but you're a business guy. Somehow you're going to have to put your Griswold in your pocket and move on. You got no choice.
But it shouldn't be any surprise to anybody.
I guess the only thing I can say is that we are completely different than WBMW. 97.7 W, Slate DY.
Yeah.
WICH. We're completely different than WINY.
Of course.
Okay? Completely. We're not terrestrial.
Right.
We have a totally different business model.
Right.
The business model is basically video. Hi, everybody. Video and, carrying sports, stuff like that. It goes back to even the fact that, town meetings should be streamed. They should be streamed. We want them to be streamed. And you know what? During the pandemic, they were streamed or it was available through Zoom or something.
Yep.
There was more participation than ever. And then now the pandemic's over and boom, they don't do it. But it's kind of like we want a bakery, but we're not going to support it. We want a bakery. It's like somebody says, what really needs to be in town? A bait and tackle shop. Oh, and I said to the guy, well, when are you going to open it up? Oh, not me. Oh, okay.
And
what does that mean?
Would you actually go to it if it was there?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's part of the plan there. If businesses don't get supported, they either close or move.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But we are not the same as these terrestrial radio stations. We're a totally different organization.
Right.
So when people say, well, WINY put this, I don't give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care what we do.
No.
Right.
You know, I don't understand why they post everything. Because it makes me say, I don't even want to listen. Why? Because I just read it on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't need to because they have a lot of area business sponsors, because they're a terrestrial radio station.
Yep.
And that's good.
Yeah.
And that's good for them. And the owner's a nice guy. And he's been in that business for a long time. And he deserves success. He's a hard worker. I used to work with the guy. But we're not the same. It's apples and oranges.
Speaking of moving, should we move across the street for breakfast?
So. Yes, I think so.
I really want breakfast. I'm very hungry.
Daryl says you can still be Griswold focused without being in Griswold. Yes,
Yeah.
you absolutely can.
That is true. However, you also have a responsibility to
Your constituents.
in the town that you go to.
Oh, and you know what? I do want to put this out there because I don't want to be remiss in not saying this. As far as like people who support us, Griswold Public Schools.
Yep.
They've supported us from day one. They allow us to broadcast their sports so we can go ahead and get it out to people that, can't get to the game or they can watch it afterwards and, that kind of stuff. Do you know how popular this stuff is for the kids to watch their own stuff later on? They're Snapchatting it and they're doing all these things, right?
Yeah.
So
Well,
anyway,
it's not like that can't happen with another community.
I understand that, but I do want to go ahead and, make sure that I do, say that about Griswold Public Schools because
Right.
Griswold Public Schools has been one of our best and most amazing community partners.
Yeah.
Jewett City Savings Bank. Jewett City Savings Bank are the ones that really started any kind of credibility that we could ever have had. And thank you, Kevin Merchant, for that. Because, and Lou D'Amico over at Jewett City Florists, because, he's the president, he's the chairman of the board.
Yeah.
It's because of those guys that I'm here.
Right.
And they've allowed me that. And I know the well runs dry, at some point.
Yeah.
But, you talk about Cunningham. I swear to God. He's just nuts. Mike is extraterrestrial. Oh, I see what he's doing there. Oh, Jesus, Kevin. You throw me off.
Yeah.
God. The town of Griswold, it has been a good community partner as far as like Ryan Aubin and, sponsoring us and supporting us and, giving us work, with PA stuff.
Yep.
Griswold Pride. And oh my God. See, I know I hate rattling people off because I know I'm going to forget somebody. And it's not meant that way.
It's like a thank you at the Oscars.
CIRAC now, we had them yesterday for problem gambling month. So anyway,
Breakfast.
Well, folks, if you know somebody, we're asking for a friend.
Wink, wink.
Asking for a friend.
There you go.
Anyway, have a great weekend, everybody. Hopefully the weather's going to remain nice for you.
Goodbye.
And we will see you. Oh, I don't know. Let's see if we're here Monday.
Yeah, okay.
It will be here Monday. Have a good weekend, everyone. Be safe.
You buy better. Better with Burns. Much better. So much better with Burns. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better with Burns. You buy better with Burns. You buy better.
A new season is upon us. Let's not fall into bad habits and let another insurance policy go by without review. Our offices are open and our licensed agents are available to shop your policy coverage and prices with dozens of insurance companies. Phone, email, 24-hour chat, or a good old-fashioned face-to-face meeting. We offer it all. Home, auto, business, and life. The Burns Agency has been a trusted, full-service insurance solution in your community